Welcome back everybody to another Jacko the Soccer Bro video, and today we are going over my 2022 driver and constructors predictions for the F1 upcoming season.
I hate pickles.
Jack quickly by Max, passes Colin, and blows by Max, goes after the sling. And I know I'm going to be posting this on the Saturday of the first qualifying, or potentially later, considering I am recording it at 9 a.m. on Friday. I made all these in advance. I'm not going to change anything based on how things go in the coming days. This is my predictions, and I'm being honest with it. Like, it's not going to change once I see who makes it to Q3 and who doesn't. Starting off at the very bottom of the pack, number 20, I have Zhou Guanyu. Rookie driver at Alfa Romeo Sauber teams. It's declining. I think at least it doesn't look good for them. They got some of the least laps in out of any teams in testing. I don't know why. I just have not a good feeling around that team for this year. And that means that P19 is going to be Valtteri Bottas. I'm not saying he's not talented enough to get higher up on the driver's order here, but I just don't think he will with the package that Alfa Romeo are giving them. 18, I have Mick Schumacher. I'm still not really the highest on Mick after last year, but we can't tell how fast he is or isn't, considering he was in the Haas. The only person he could battle at any point in the races was Mazepin, and he handled him with relative ease last year. We don't really know how that Haas is going to do this year. Some people think it's going to do fantastic. Some people think it's going to be bottom of the pack. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be bottom midfield kind of thing, but Mick Schumacher isn't going to be the one getting the results for them. So moving up, P17 for the year, I have Fernando Alonso. I think that the Alpine, the L plan, it's not going to work. It's going to be an L plan, but not L plan. They had somebody on their team that said something about focusing on performance, not durability. That's not a good quote that you want to hear coming out of a team. I don't know. I have very bad vibes about Alpine for this year. So that means 16, I also have their other Alpine teammate, Esteban Ocon. I think that Ocon and Alonso could go either way here, but I just think that their car is not going to be fast enough to get them up any higher. So P15, I have the other Haas driver, Kevin Magnussen. Good to see him come back into F1. I feel like he's an absolutely rapid driver, and I think he's going to outperform Mick, get the load of points that Haas are going to need to stay above Alpine, at least in the drivers. We'll see where I put them in the constructors later. But, they're still going to be bottom of the midfield kind of area. So at number 14, then, I have Lance Stroll. I am not very optimistic on Aston Martin's performance for this year either. I think they're going to be relatively close to where they were last year, maybe a step up a little bit, but not much. Number 13, this might come as a surprise to a lot of people, but I have Nicholas Latifi and the Williams. They're a growing team. They're an up-and-coming team now. They have just a good energy around them. I think this is going to be a good year for Williams. And 12, it's going to be the other Aston Martin. I have Sebastian Vettel. No podiums for him this year. He might, he could just pull out another Baku. Who knows? But P12 for Sebastian, I think that's pretty much the same thing as he got last year. So once again, like I said, not much changing for the Aston Martin duo. And 11, I have the other Williams, Alex Albon, coming back into F1. I think he's going to be Pierre Gasly-esque, but he's not going to be on the level Gasly was once he got down to the AlphaTauri. He's going to be a good driver. I'm fairly confident on that, but I don't think the Williams are. It's gonna be a middle of the midfield. So that's why I have Alex Albon at 11. Moving on, number 10 for me, I have Yuki Tsunoda. I think that the AlphaTauri is going to be a really good car this year. In hindsight, I think I probably could have put them higher up on here now. I don't know. I just have good feelings about AlphaTauri. I think Yuki's going to have a big step up in his performance. And he's Gasly. He's insane. But I only have him at one step ahead in P9 for Pierre. Obviously, he's going to keep doing what he does. P6 Merchant. Qualifying pace is fantastic. Race pace leaves a little bit to be desired, but I think that was more because of the car than anything else last year. So it's going to be 9 and 10 for the AlphaTauri teammates, but I definitely see room for them to go upward this year. And number 8, I have Daniel Ricciardo. The McLaren this year is one of the cars that I am lost on. I have no clue if they're going to be like top 3 team or bottom 3 team. Not like I'm not getting the greatest just vibes out of their camp, but I mean it's a McLaren car. They've been up like on the up for the last few years, except at the end of last year kind of felt like they were falling off a little bit compared to at least Ferrari, who they were battling with. And I think that trend's going to continue a little bit this year. Like Ricardo's personally going to step up a little bit more than last year, but McLaren as a team will slide down. And then number 7, right in between the McLaren teammates, I have Checo Perez. Mexican Ministry of Defense, great driver. He played a crucial role in Verstappen getting that title last year, but I don't see him bringing in the points like just in a similar way to last year. Number 6, then I have Lando Norris, the other McLaren teammate. I think he's going to outperform Ricardo again. He showed his class last year. Fantastic driver, but I just don't think that McLaren's going to be quite where it was to get him in a position to win races like he was in Russia. Number 5 for me, I have Carlos Sainz, and I know he outperformed Charles Leclerc last year, and I know he's a fantastic driver, but I think that once Charles gets a little bit more consistency underneath him this year, because last year wasn't exactly his greatest season in F1, I think he's going to bounce back. And Carlos Sainz is going to be just the same as he was last year, consistent finishes, top 5 and up. Sainz on up is going to be like a upper level in the title this year. So number 4, I have the defending champion, Max Verstappen. I don't think that Red Bull is going to be the fastest car. I think they're going to be the second or third fastest for this year. So he's going to do as good as he can, and it's only going to end up being P4. So number 3, the first of the Mercedes duo, I have George Russell. I don't think he can outperform Hamilton this year. I think he'll be competitive with him, at least more so than Bottas was, but I don't think it's going to be enough for him to upset him in the team orders. But number 2, I have the big man himself, Lewis Hamilton. Coming off of P2 last year, this could be it for him. I think if he wins it, he retires, or if the Mercedes just kind of falls apart, he's going to retire. But I think if he stays like in this P2, P3 range close enough to first, then he's going to stay in the sport for another year or two. So that means up above him, winning the Drivers' Championship for 2022 is going to be Charles Leclerc. I'm high on Ferrari this year. I think they're gonna be great. I like the vibes that the team's giving off. They've gone with a unique look on the car, and it seems to be working just by the testing results. I think this is going to be the year for Leclerc and Ferrari. It's going to be a close battle, I'd say, between probably the top 3 or 4 drivers, with Leclerc, Hamilton, Russell, and Verstappen. I think they're all going to be getting wins over each other. There won't be one like specific driver that pulls away this year. That means moving on now to my constructors picks for this year. I mean, it's pretty obvious if you just look at where I have everybody on the drivers. But P10, it's going to be Alfa Romeo. P9, Alpine. 8, Haas. P7 is going to be Aston Martin. My surprise of the year is going to be Williams in P6. AlphaTauri in P5, but I think they could overtake McLaren here now that I'm looking back at this. P4 is going to be McLaren. P3 is Red Bull. P2 is Ferrari. And I think that the consistency of the Mercedes duo, and I think they're going to have the fastest car, just Leclerc is going to be the fastest driver, which is why I have Mercedes bringing home the Constructors' Championship. So, that's it for this year. Am I confident in these? No. Do I think that I made like the best efforts I could based on what I knew? Yes, I think this is a good ranking so far. But we'll see at the end of the season. Like I said, I might or might not come back to look at these, because I tried doing that this year, but it just didn't turn out how I wanted it to. So that's going to be it for this one. It's race day this week. That's cool. Race week. On Sunday. This video I'm hoping is going to be out by then. If it isn't, it'll look kind of weird on my part. But I am recording this on Friday before testing. Well, okay, after testing and before FP1. So that's going to be it for this one. See you guys.